on Facebook. Well, hello, hello, hello. Rosemarie Sanchez here, like always. Thank you, Sisters for One
Wait, sister,
Academy.
please
Oh,
just wait. We'll start to record and then you can do it.
all right.
Yes, go.
Hello, 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 beautiful family of Sisters for One Academy. Thank you so much for having me once again here. I think this is our fourth or fifth class. We've been going through the steps about the characteristics of leadership. And as we know, leadership is something demanding. We know as entrepreneurs, we have so much to do each and every day. And part of our work will be always in our mindset internally, even in the things we do in our platforms, talking to many people, expanding our ideas, creativity, and really being that authority. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and start today. And whoever is watching on YouTube, well, thank you. Thank you for being here. It is a pleasure to always be, assisting in both places. So you either can be in the Zoom or you either can be in YouTube. We have different people today here. We have Lika, perhaps our beautiful, amazing Reina Queen Nadia Hairidi. Hello, and we have Derek Herbert and Raj Kumar, who's always helping. And we have Nija. Hi, how are you? We have Habeluzulu, Kumolo, and we have Ambassador Nur Ame. Hi, 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 hi. Well, I'm glad that you're here. So let's start a little bit with more what we need to really embrace. You know, today is a fun, I may say fun class, because this is something that we work on us each and every day, and you're gonna see very soon. So as you know, I'm a coach of business and marketing. I've been in different businesses for many years. I've helped with people to create more income, to embrace them with the opportunities of growth in their marketplaces. And also I have helped people with their branding, with the personal branding, and how also they can become from their own branding into a corporate business. And therefore, after even being an academy, as perhaps this is something that's our beautiful queen is doing today. So I'm gonna let you know, as leaders, we know first rule, we're responsible. We have a responsibility, and we have seen this many times through the classes, but I always come up with the same thing, because as much as you see this picture, it does really embrace your career, embrace your growth, embrace everything you do, in life. Like, I remember when I was a child, and my mom used to get me to different classes, perhaps for swimming or even for volleyball, tennis, who didn't want to be number one, like we always want to be the winner, right? So this is the case for a leader. We don't think we want to be in the bottom ever. We want to be ourselves, being the best. And if we can carry number one, I think that's the mentality. That's where we have to place ourselves, in the excellence of being always number one in things we do. Now, sometimes we don't have to be proven by people to tell you you're number one, but sometimes there's ways to even know it. Okay. And I think leadership it correlates to everything that an individual does, lead and influence, in order to attract a group, an individual, and an organization. Okay. We can be leaders of leaders. We can be inside of a leader program and create more leaders. We can even be with a big company, being in the top chief management system, and be leaders of leaders. Okay. So there's always someone that embraces us to become better. And if we see that, we know already what our opportunity of growth is, our vision, our passion, our results, our purpose. All right. So it's important that you internalize this in order to fulfill where you're located today. So the characteristics of a leader, we have seen many of them already. We have seen number one, power. Second, we have seen the vision. Third, we have seen the values. And now we see charisma. Charisma, you know, this is a place where a lot of people want to be, and how difficult they lose it in one time, in a very short time. But always, if you're a person who's positivism, who has a positivism in life, who become that attraction to others, because what you show always, regardless of the position, the vision, the moment, the result, and what you do, you always maintain peace. You always maintain yourself there. You always show that you embrace people's for their results and their lives and everything, even though sometimes may be difficult because you may be losing money, or maybe you're not producing what you need to be done, or maybe you're in a phase where uncertainty is. But charismatic people will always shine regardless of their moments. And this is something we really have to work and work hard. Okay. And there's people that are already in life, they're always like that, and they don't have to work it out because it's in them. They own it. And let's see how we can get there. Let's see how we can get to that passion of being a charismatic person. All right. Charisma, as you see here, you know, embrace others people beliefs. Okay. Let's talk about a political leader. Okay. A political leader may have populism because have created charisma, charming personality. You see, it is someone that's always speaking in front of the TV, in front of different culturism places, that's been representing that place, that political party, right? So their charisma will get people attracted. We get people to know them, to really say, oh, he may be having something special that I need as an opportunity for maybe my business, maybe for this amazing city, for the country, you see? So it is important that you understand that charismatic people will always raise loyalty, okay, enthusiasm, okay, and will become that public figure, that person that is always enchanting others, that have a powerful voice. Let's say I'm gonna put an example here. We have our beautiful queen, yes, Queen Nadia Hariri, yes, and we know how charismatic she is. We know that because of her personality and because of the things that she have done in order to fulfill a place of leader, and give the opportunity of other people to integrate in her platform that she's creating. And perhaps she is integrated to other platforms to attract more people to know what Social World One Academy is. She may have her lows and up like any person, but she's stable. She's in that personality where people will find trust. Okay, because charismatic people will find trust, loyalty, enthusiasm, and will perform at a best level if they become the person of integrity. That's becoming part of our values that we spoke last time when we were here. I would love for our Queen Nadia, if you can tell me a little bit of the charisma that you placed in Africa when you were with the kids, how that fulfillment of your inner self would attract to all these kids and people that you surround with and you did so many work with.
Yes. Hi, Sister Rosemarie. Hi, everyone. When I was in Africa, it was just moved, emotional, and just a magic moment. I was not expecting all that, to be frank with you. I was not expecting we were expecting only, I was going there to meet in a school 100 children to whom I have sent some school kits. And when I arrived, my gosh, 3,000 people were waiting for me. Children from everywhere,
Wow.
parents and all that. I didn't know what to say. I was just crying by happiness, by love, because when I saw the love in their eyes, it was just emotional moment for me. But you know, this is true. The charisma is when you are stable, you are equal to yourself. Nothing can really disturb you. You cannot even judge the others, and even you cannot judge their bad behaviors, because you know that one day they will be touched by supreme love, and they will change their vision, and they will change themselves. And this is how it is charisma. You stand tall no matter what you are facing. We I am facing some criticism and all that, but doesn't matter. It's not affecting me, because I know who I am, I know where I want to go, and no one can destroy the love that I have, or the light that I want to spread around me, this peace of mind, this unconditional love, and the supreme light. And that no one can disturb it or destroy it, because I found myself, and I'm loyal to myself. I believe this is charisma. When you are loyal to yourself, you are just, you don't even need to speak or say I am the leader or these kind of things, because when you start to speak, it's not even you, it's your ego who's speaking, feeling probably himself superior to the others. But when you are a leader, you have just to be the example by your actions, by your attitude, and spreading only love around you. And a leader is always making leaders. For example, in Successful One, to be frank, I don't need followers. I don't need fans. I want to create leaders. And this is why I am also in other organizations, to spread this leadership and tell them, hey guys, wake up. There's a big leader sleeping within you. Just wake it up. Be aware of who you are. And that's it. Be yourself. This is the only thing. And I believe that when I was in Africa, this warm welcoming that I got, this is because love is attracting love. My love for these children attracted more children to me, just by love, this link that we have together. That's it.
Bravo. What amazing talk. I think it is our responsibility to become the charismatic person we are, because this is something we have already as a position of a human being. We just have to always work it out, you see, and always by having that charisma in you, it will be easier to even talk, even show, being a presence to others. It is something simple. It is not something you have to create or fake, you know, it will come into you. It's already something born in you. Thank you so much. I love the story about the kids, because you said something important. I went with my heart open, and I expected something, and it was amazingly extraordinary, much more than what I expected. So you see, your own intentions as a leader bring that opportunity of charismatic um, opportunities arises with the characteristics we're going to talk. Okay, so it's very, very important to seek and find, to seek and really truthful internalize. If that's working with me, then how would I prove it? You see, because sometimes I see people that they have so much to give, but it's difficult for them to express because sometimes, like our queen said, we have to knock the door and tell them, wake up, it's you. You see? So that charisma in us is giving us also that strength to show perhaps that our same emotions work in different perspectives and different places and a different way of talk. So communication, that's our first place. Okay, we really need to work in our communication. So the better we are as speakers, and we become more embrace of our confidence, and we work in our communication skills to prove that in fact what we believe stands for what it should be taken or said or done, then that place takes the opportunity for a charismatic person work in a position of a leadership. Okay, so our communication has to be in both ways. This person, this blue person that is standing up in front of other people, is not any different to the people that is under or perhaps not in the stand where he's at. The only thing that he's doing is raising a voice of demand of what they want to say and be heard and understood. So, but if these people that are listening, not paying attention, turn their back, not do what the leader is doing or saying in a charismatic way, okay, all the communication is lost. So how can we stand up, raise our voice, and be heard and not to be turned back? Because that can happen too. You see, is because we have to work in our communication skills, our verbal skills. We're going to talk a little bit about our body skill of our language. So we really need to embrace what words we're using, what words embrace other of opportunity of growth, and perhaps by our own personality, bringing the happiness, the cheer up of a situation. You know, I've seen many places where leaders races, and when they're gonna say a bad news, about new, um, they don't seem to have any feelings. And some people say, my God, this person is not demanding or showing what really is happening. And all that person is doing is not to scare anymore the others. You see, is being in a pacific way with enthusiasm in certain way to let the other parties know what the bad news are. You see? But if he raised his voice, he checked his voice, he start mumbling or trembling with the words that need to be said or understood, people start getting scared. People will start feeling, okay, I'm a good place. Is this what really is happening? You see? So it really, that moment has to be the powerful moment for you to demonstrate your charismatic appeal with the communication you're giving to the people. And how we can do that. Watch. Now, maturity. You see, maturity is powerful in our personalities. Okay, we really need to think about what have we done. Okay, that bring us up right now to this position where we are right now, in any position you're leading right now. Okay, and what is that you have with you will get you farther of what the objective of your vision, passion, results, and purpose will be. So in that way, your maturity will communicate with your character. And character becomes many things. Character becomes a way of showing if you in a certain time will change your mind, will become another person, will not let the things that you supposed to believe work to your favor. Your character will demand already maturity to embrace the changes. And when we understand that, we understand we have to work in that time with our charisma. It goes along with it. Okay, to really fulfill that emptiness that it might be happening to you at that time. Other thing that you will have to work is humility. You know, who wants to hear about this word? Because nobody in this planet, think consciously, with consciousness. That humility has to be something that it's upon you in every step of life, because there's ego, like our queen said. There's always an opportunity to stand up and being in front of something different, and sometimes thinking about humiliation in a certain way. I'm not saying that you have to be humiliated in order to be the winner, no, or in order to be more heard. No. I'm saying humility will embrace exactly the love that you have for the present moment, where humanity will control, and you would have to depend upon other people. You know, it won't be only your resemblance of the needs that you have. You will start understanding it. If that person doesn't work to my favor and I don't work with that person, it will not happen. So we have to humble ourselves to really know if that decision and concise decision does really will impact or will work into what you're doing. So considering that, how would you talk charismatically to someone with radiance when you feel you're losing, right? How will I stand up still when I have to humble myself and say, okay, let that person be first? How can we be that leader that we always relied upon, not only us, but someone else to embrace a result that will manage to have a productive outcome? You see, this is something we really have to think about it. The picture itself, the other person is having all the water down in the head, but he instead put the cup, you know, into the other person to help, to really humble, and said, okay, it's not my turn, it's you. See, it's something we really have to work as a charismatic leader. And sometimes we'll do it persuading other things. Yes. Oh, I want something in return. I have to do it because in that way that person will. Persuasion. Well, may work sometimes, but not always. You know. And if you're not doing it with an open heart, but you're doing it with a purpose for something malicious, I told you it will not work at all. It may happen something in there, but at the end, the result will twist, because a conscious decision of really humbleness is not happening. So there's no changes. So other thing we have to work about is our compassion. And I think we put ourselves very well here. For all of us that we're here, I think we are compassionate people, that we're seeking always to help, embrace others, make them believe in themselves, put your shoes into the other person, thinking, okay, am I doing something that's really going to help? Or am I doing something that may help not in the long term, just now, but really won't make any sense after? Or a feeling that sensation that the person who's next putting their head in your shoulder, it's really finding a solution, or it's really hurt, or whatever is happening is hurting them. So in that, a charismatic leader will work with enthusiasm words, with the enthusiastic a way of displaying a help or giving a aids or support, you see. So we really have to work in this, because being compassionate people will always have a good result in life, regardless of the position you are. Maybe you have money, not have money. Maybe you're in a country that's difficult to come out, or maybe you're in a geographical place that it won't allow you to stay in. And, you know, regardless of the adversity that may not happen, the person who's compassionate, even with one word, can make a change to other person or help them in somehow. So we really have to work in this as leaders. The systems. um, like any opportunity has something that has a weight, that has something to hold on, that has something that will empower, a necessity, or give you an opportunity or result or a way or path, you see. But we really have to in deep search sometimes, because I've seen many people in the workplaces where they said, oh, you know what, I work here in the marketing department, but what you're asking me is not really on my side. It won't do any good. That opportunity you're giving me, it's something someone else have to take it, because that person in the other side may do it better. That person belongs there. And the worst part is that you never even try. You never even give the opportunity to yourself to really see if there's purpose there. And then when the other person got the results and did something marvelous, then you say, oh, I gave away what I'm supposed to have. I had a pearl in my hands. I never, take away the dust. All I said is I throw it away and give it to someone else. So that's why we have to be very precocious, very acknowledge of what we're doing. Because in everything, there's substance. There's something you need, something that will take you far or will do another step up. But it's something that you have to seek and confront and take it. Even it's going to take more responsibility, I had an opportunity yesterday from our dear queen, Nadia. She said, I have this person that needs help to find a job. He's in Vancouver. So I said, my beautiful queen, I can help, but the problem is I'm in Toronto. He's in the West Coast. I'm in the East Coast. I really don't know much people in the West. I may know somebody, yeah? And I would have to really go and take the phone, start chatting or do something, right? But when she told me this, I could have said, no, I'm sorry, there's no way I can help you. Like, no way. I'm here in Toronto and the other person is there, in the other side, 5 hours away, I did say, if it comes to Toronto, I will be helping because I know people here. Okay. But my resemble and my result to her was, let it with me. I will search still. You see? I don't know if that person, after getting someone that I connected there, that maybe I found even by a newspaper that I find, talked to him and said after, you know what? Who introduced you to me? He was like, I'm Rosemarie. Yeah, what she does. And he was said, okay, she's a coach of marketing business. She does books. She's a very good speaker. He said, okay, I need someone like her. Bring her on. You see what I mean? And I thought it was not something I have to take responsibility for. This is how we have to think. An open door will open another door. And that's where the substance is. That purpose, that opportunity, something has to be offered. Who's with me today? At least if you raise your hand or put a heart or something, you know what I mean? We're in the same path. We're thinking ahead. Okay. Now, confidence. We have to believe in us. Regardless, the mirror says not to. Because we're so in doubt, or we have so much guilt, or we have regrets, or we said we are not aiming for this and not yet that person. Because I heard it tons of time. People said, I'm not the person yet. And you have your results in front of your face. Excuse me, what else you want? Even if I tell you 100 times, it will not make any sense, because nobody else will make you to believe in you. It's you. You see? So we have to know what we say, what we do, our actions, to really become the confident self we are, that person we're supposed to be. Positive body language. That works with our charismatic way of being a leader, as well as confidence. Okay? Because our body language can say even more than our words. You know that? At 80% of how you dress, how you talk, how you move your hands, how you move your expression of your face, your eyes, everything. People will feel confidence, perhaps trust, being aligned to what you said. And you don't even have to say a word. That's the body part, and that's the worst part, just by showing up. How important is this? This is another way of talking, and we have to work that to our favor. That's why a political person that is embracing a huge community, they will have someone that give them and guide them how to dress, what to talk, what not to say, how they sit down to eat. They have all that. They have all that training. When they talk, they look like the perfect man. You know why? Because there's been people behind asking them what to say and what not to do and what to do. They've been trained. And all they do is they put their personality. Bingo, charismatic person is there. You see? So our body language talks a lot. A lot. We really have to work on this. We have to be, first of all, a positive person. We have to always smile, regardless what's happening, if the house is coming down, It's powerful. We have to be that person in help of others. We have to show our true face, be our own person, have character, and say the things that you believe the way they should, regardless if it hurts somebody else. But there's always to be empathetic, compassionate. Yeah, there's always way of being that person, genuine, you see, and being taking care of others in a good way. We just have to work all this. And if we work it out, I tell you, you will win not only one time, 10,000 times, 100,000 times, all the time. So work on this, work on this. Every day we have to work on these skills and we will become the excellence. Listening skills. How many of you love talking? I love talking. If you put your or raise your hands, please, I would love to hear from you. Aha, thank you, Ambassador Nur Ahmed. I love talking too. I really think I have to be talking all the time anywhere. But, Queen Nadia, thank you. But we must know when to talk. Sometimes all we have to do is listening. Listening, listening, listening. And people will feel appreciated, that they've been heard. And most of the times, you don't even have to talk so much for people to tell you, thank you, I trust you. And all you did was to talk. Sorry, all you did was letting them talk. Okay. And then with one word, you complete the sentence, it's done. And person say, I'm happy, I'm released, I'm able to do. So this is a way of working things out. We have to let talk people first. We listen, and then reply back. No many words will say what you really want to do. Believe me, because I told you already, body language talk, persistence talk, confidence talk, compassionate talk, humility talks, all those talk. They all do. But the most important thing to become that excellence of a winner, of a leader, is getting your listening skills. And with one word that you demand that you took from the conversation with that person, the most meaningful word that that person said, you reply back with that and end the sentence is done. All you needed to hear that person. How many of you have you had that experience where all you did was listening? You took one word that was said over and over, and with that word you create a sentence and you finish. I've done it. I don't know if any of you have done it that can let us know an experience like that. But I think if you start doing this and put it in action, when you come back the next week and you do this as a experiment, you will let me know your results. And I will flourish with you if it was a good result. And that's why a lot of people will have so many conflicts and so interpersonal conflicts in life because they never let the other person talk. And then after they give them the resolution, perhaps from that conversation. Ambassador Nord, hello.
No, sorry to interrupt you. Can you please repeat it so I can, because I have very, very poor in listening skill. So I have to enrich this because whenever I give the prioritize to the other people that I'm listening his or her words, so they will feel that, yes, I'm just feeling empathic as his or her words. So I should enrich my listening skill. So what are the way to enrich? Because, you know, I can't. Even still today, I didn't apply any tricks to listen properly. But in the whenever he or she deliver any words, meanwhile I just interrupt. That was really bad thing, I know. But how can I do that? Can you please repeat it?
Perfect. Thank you. I love your humbleness and the way that you asked, because by you doing that, I'm sure that all people here listening will say, that happened to me too. So yes, I faced, because I've worked with so many people, I've seen how people react when we listen to them. I have many people who come with the stories that I can tell you it's difficult or it's beautiful or it's happiness or whatever is the situation. When you let the person talk first, okay, you have to put a lot of attention in their words they're saying. The pattern that they have of the situation that's happening will be repeated constantly. I'll give you an example. Oh Lord, no, that person took so much time of me. All they did is talk, and it's been so difficult. I don't know how to say this, but I have to finish with this conversation and I cannot do it because it's always difficult and the person is difficult. And you know what? I know it's hard, but I want to repent or, bring another word to that person, but I don't know what to do. It's always the same thing. It's happened that every time I'm in front of that person, I'm going to say something, that person will start talking and it's difficult. How many times I said difficult? Let me ask you, Ambassador Noor, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How many times I said difficult? You see? I said difficult more than 4 times, eh?
Right.
Even 5, okay? So now
Yes.
you know the characteristic of that conversation is difficult, okay?
All
So
right.
then the person stops, okay? You said, okay, well, I have news for you. I heard you. You said it's difficult. And every time you're trying to do the same thing, it's difficult, right? The person will say, yes. Okay. The only thing you need to do today is take a glass of water, drink it, meditate, and try to get another way of talking that is not difficult. The person, aha! Do you think I can? Yes, you can. How do you think that person goes out and get out of your conversation? You did the milestone. They wanted to hear the same word. They wanted to hear the same thing again. All they wanted to do is to be affirmed that the difficulty they have is something that they can surpass. And you did it. You said it. So we need to be very careful on what the person is saying so we can embrace that word, take it out, and resolute with what that word, what you want to say. And it doesn't have to be a long, extensive um, way of talking. You just have to straight up, being 1, 2, 3, 4, done. You see? And it will be easier. Thank you. We listen from our Queen Nadia and then Derek.
Yes, I just wanted to add one thing also to our brother Noor, because he's just an amazing boy, and he's a great leader, and he doesn't know really. And he will become a very great leader because he has this hunger to learn and to listen. And when you are learning, you are already listening. This is the big difference between being a leader and being a manager, because the leader is doing things for the others, not for himself. He wants to do and improve the life of others. He's not selfish. He's not thinking to himself. So the best way is to listen to the needs of others in order to answer them, because when he is listening, he will be able to answer to their request and their needs. At the opposite of the manager, who is talking to impose his ideas, the leader will listen to the others, take their ideas and make them real. This is the big difference. And Noor, I want to tell you that you have already that, because by listening to different courses and this hunger of learning all the time that I have seen within you is the big characteristic of a big leader. Bravo.
Bravo. That's something really good that you said, our queen, because yes, in fact, that's one of the things I've seen most when I'm going to give an example here. I think Ambassador Noor, where are you from, please, if you don't mind? What country? Bangladesh?
Bangladesh, right.
Perfect, thank you. Well, I happen to work many times in factories here in Toronto because they asked me to come and check the place and see what they can improve. Okay, so I've seen that in different factories that we have here, we have all type of people from anywhere in the world here in Toronto. This is a multicultural tourism city. Okay, but there's some manufacturing companies that are specific with people from India, from Bangladesh, from from other countries, but very similar. Okay, and I've seen that they demand so much. You see, I've seen that the way that they speak to people, it's so different from other factories I've gone to, where there's other cultural uh, people that are not from Asia, and they are more manageable. So I see that maybe by the culture is something that's imposed. I'm not saying that it has to be all the time like that, okay? But I've seen what our queen is saying, that it's something that's been grown already in their cultural ways of communicating, and sometimes it's so difficult to be different, okay? Because it's something that's always been that way. So, but I think you're in a good rooting place. You are accommodating to be worldwide understood. And this is so good because I told you, one of the most difficult way of a person getting out of their mindset is because they always are in the same place with the same people at the same time. So it's something that's routine. But when you start doing something that's uncomfortable and you see that it's giving you results and you are expanding and you see other people's with other experiences and with other culture and other way of believing, then it opens your eyes to be more lenient to maybe a fair way of talking, receiving, listening. You see what I mean? So I'm not demanding that that might be the possible case, but I'm saying that that might be one of the reasons why sometimes we grow as we grow, and we have to expand uh, our processes to not being always that type of people with the same amount of culture and just being a little bit more of up to what the world is. You see what I mean? We're in a certainty that right now we can learn so much because the possibility of technology, like today, you see, you're from Bangladesh. I'm here in Toronto. Oh my God, the other way, the other side, and we're talking. We're already sharing. You see, so but in that part, when that happens, we start working in our charismatic characteristics, being humble, being that person with compassion, and all the things that we have talked to have today here, and then it becomes easier and easier. I'm okay. You get it? Is it you want to say something? Go ahead.
All right. Thank you so much for your words. And you already shared the true fact. And I really love the true fact because it's happened because of the culture fact, because of the origin, some behavioral factor are also there. Well, I'm just focusing on my words. So whatever what will be the customs and the behavior, I just not focus on that. Okay, my question is right now, why I interrupt the people, why I'm not listening I'm not listening till the finish, because I interrupt where I feel like if I'm not sharing my words, I gonna lost my words. That I feel like that. That's why I interrupt. So in that perspective, should I note down the specific topic or specific words that remind me, yes, I have to say after the finish?
That's a very good practice. You can write it down. If you're with someone talking, you write down all the things that you think you can rephrase and you can talk about again. Yes, but it's important that we give a space to people to talk. Sometimes there's arguments, right? And by arguments, we really have to let the other person talk all they want, and we have to be very calm and just wait. Okay, you finish? Can I talk? Then it's different than, let's say the person is arguing, there's more argument. See? But if we start letting that person to suppress their feelings and start lowering down their voice and so on, and even if you stay quiet all the time, they will say, are you listening? Yes, I do. I'm waiting for you to finish so I talk. So you see how different? Like already you're giving that permission to the person and the person feels appreciated. You see, because sometimes all the person is the one bluff. Woo! And then all you have to do is wait until the person finish and said, okay, now it's my turn. I listen all and I have an answer for you. And then you can ask your questions or rephrase back, like I explained to you. If you start doing that process, it will become easier, easier, and easier. But because you recognize the process, you see, if you don't recognize that process, you will never know when to start, when to finish, when to stop, when to, you understand? But if you start by processing in your mind all the words that have been said and heard, and put very much attention, and even write it down if you can, and then you come up with that result by giving them back the feedback of rephrasing what they say, I guarantee you it will make a lot of difference. And it will be a process that will come and follow in place as you do it more often. Okay. So thank you so much. Like anything, it's been such a pleasure being with you today. I wish if you have questions, if you want to say something much more, I'm here to for a little while to talk. I don't know if you want to say something, my dear Queen, about the class. We want to add anything else?
I believe that Derek wants to say something, and so it will be great to hear from him.
Certainly. Derek, we listen from you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation, Professor. It's been a very, very wonderful. I'm learning a lot from you. But I just want to make a quick contribution, especially on the listening part. You know, sometimes I feel it's very important to be very considerate. When I mean being considerate, is giving this opportunity to someone when they are speaking, because most of the times I realize we don't listen to understand, we listen to speak. As the person is, she or is speaking, we also want to pose our opinion. So it's very important to listen to understand, not to listen to speak, because when you listen to speak, it will give you the opportunity to be also understood. You understand what I mean? So the good approach that I use as regards to that is to have this mentality whereby when I'm interacting with people, I don't want to act as if I know more. I empty my mind and just to be open to also hear from them, because I realize that by me listening from others, I also end up gaining new skills and learning new things. Because when I speak, I only speak that which I know, but when I listen, I begin to get new things which bring about growth to my life. So it's very important.
Wonderful. I think it is what you said. As you listen, you're being understood. And as you listen, you may want to interrupt. I think we as good listeners, we are able to interrupt in certain time, right? But I think most effective will be to let the person talk first. And as we go along, there will be even the person who would ask, are you okay? You want to add something? Because the person wants to be in reciprocation, right? So it all depends on the situation. But I believe that if we start listening more, I guarantee you, so you're open to success. And I see that great leaders have heard their people. You see, when they say something in regards to what they're doing, or what they believe, or what they think is not right or what's right, but always being respectful to one another, right? So I think it's very opportune. It's giving us an opportunity to open abroad what really we want to scale. Because sometimes, let's say, if we want to talk to a president, it will be a different way of talking to, let's say, a friend, or talking to the queen of, you see, there's certainty ways of talking to each in consideration to their representation as a professional, I may say. And then after, as a friend, or sister or brother, or you know, someone that's very into you as a relative, that will matter also, right? So like I know in back home, we used to have conversations with my mom, but when I talk to my mom, oh dear, I have to let her throw everything, and then I have to, okay, now can I talk? Because if you listen to her, her tone is very loud, um, and you think maybe she's arguing and she's not, but her tone is very loud. And if someone else listen, will say, oh my God, she's giving her like tons of problems. And it's not. So it depends of the culture too, because I've seen a lot of people who says, are you arguing? And I'm like, no, that's how my mom talks. She's very loud. And I have to explain to people sometimes. So by me listening to her, because I adapted to be with other people, sometimes it feels bad. Like she's arguing with me, but she's not. And she says, I'm not arguing with you. It's my voice and tone. Like, okay, I have to go back again in my transition to understood. Okay, I'm not being argued. I'm being just in the process that she wants to talk and I heard. So it's a lot of feedback, right? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Dr. Rashi, you want to say something? Okay, I think it's fine. Well, our queen, I think we reached the time.
Professor Rosemary, it was just an amazing session. Now, to all of us, what kind of leader are we? This is the most question that we have to ask ourselves. What kind of leader are we? And what have we learned from today? Where we place ourselves in what our professor taught us today? This is the most interesting things. So some of people like Noor in the speaking, he will improve his situation, and the others in something else. And this is the beauty of learning and listening and being a leader in actions. Thank you so much, everyone. It was just an amazing session. Next week, next time, next platform, next professor. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you,
wonderful
Queen.
and blessed.
Beautiful. Well, we'll see each other next week on Tuesday again. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
God
Bye
bless
bye,
you.
guys.
It's been a
Bye.
wonderful section. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Manuel. Thank you, Ishmael. Thank you, Derek. Thank you, Lika. Thank you, Havasu, Lou, Nia, and Dr. Rashi. And thank you, dear